Getting lean in your 30s is possible, but things change and it takes more than just diet and exercise.
Katie and I have both lost over 40 pounds in our 20s and 30s, and during that time, we've learned a lot.
These are the top 5 supplements that we take daily that have helped us get and stay lean, plus they're backed by science.
And a few that we thought were great, but honestly, you should try to avoid.
We're breaking down which supplements we take, why they're so effective, and how to know which ones will actually get you results. All right, I'm so excited to have Ryan in this video this week. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure you hit the like button. That tells me to make more videos like this and helps other women find our community. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. I have new videos every week to help you along your fitness journey. Plus, we do weekly giveaways for our subscribers.
We should do a supplement giveaway for this video.
We should do a supplement giveaway for this video. What should it be? You always give me the green light on what I can give away.
Let's do a protein powder.
All you have to do to win the protein powder is make sure you're subscribed and drop a comment down below. I share our winners every week over in the community channel. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that losing weight after 30 is impossible, or that your metabolism slows down and you're not going to be able to do it. It gets really, really hard. But actually your metabolism doesn't really slow down like between 30 and 60 at all. What does happen is hormones change, of course. We're struggling to like maintain muscle, that starts rapidly dropping and life gets stressful. But clearly you and I are living proof that it is not that complicated with right support.
Yeah, and you just need a level of supplementation in order to support the challenges that inevitably come with getting older. So having supplements as part of your routine, one, they're going to be good for anyone, right? Anyone that's trying to lose weight, build lean muscle, these supplements are super important for. But also, like as you age, you need a little bit of help, and having these in part of your routine is essential. Otherwise, it can feel like it's a pretty tough task.
Totally. And I know like walking into any supplement store or looking online is so overwhelming, which is why there's so many options and there's so much marketing, and it's just hard to know what actually is going to make a difference for you.
Yeah, so we've tried pretty much every supplement that's out there, and I think we've made it a point to try all of them. Mm-hmm. And so let's get into the first one. That's pretty much the building block of everything. And if you aren't already using it in supplement form, you should be like yesterday. And that's protein powder.
Absolutely. And full transparency, we have a supplement company. We sell a protein, but there's a reason for that. And I think the biggest one is because it's such an essential thing to supplement. Obviously, we all know we need protein, but to be able to get more than what most of us are getting every day.
Yeah, I mean, you need 1 gram per pound of body weight, current body weight, or your target goal weight per day. And most people fall way, way short of that. And so the best way to get there, to help you get there, on top of the normal whole foods you're eating, which are the most important.
Yes, of course.
Is a protein powder, right? And so I personally use our protein powder 2 times a day, but I'm using a scoop and a half each time at this point.
3 times, right? Because you do it in your yogurt too.
I do use it 3 times.
Use it a lot.
So I use it 3 times, and a scoop and a half in both smoothies, and then a scoop in Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
And that helps me hit my protein goal. Now mine's really high right now. So yours, you're more still in the kind of get lean phase right now.
Yeah.
How much are you using every day?
So my goal is 150 grams of protein a day. And I use 1 to 2 scoops of protein powder to get there. Again, like I always try to go to my whole foods first. And if you're doing lean proteins, you're going to be able to get a lot of protein without feeling like crazy full. But I think that's the one thing people don't expect. Like if you're in a caloric deficit, which you have to be if you're trying to get lean and toned, right, and lose fat, if you increase your protein to the level it needs to be at, you are going to feel full and satiated. Because most women, I think it's like 60 to 65 grams is the average amount most women actually consume of protein.
Well, I feel like people are always looking for ways to cut cravings or not have those sweet or savory cravings they have. And I think that the easiest answer to that, without having to go look for a magic fix, is just adding protein powder.
Absolutely.
It's going to help you feel full, and it's going to help you get to your ultimate goal, which is going to burn fat. More fat is going to help you build lean muscle and just build a healthy body. If you're not using it right now, then I think you're missing out.
Absolutely. And I think one of the biggest things, again, especially when you go from like your 20s, 30s, 40s and on, at 30s, like our metabolism doesn't slow, like I said, but we do start losing muscle rapidly. How do you build muscle? Well, you need enough protein to be able to maintain muscle mass, but then also grow that lean muscle so that you can burn more fat. And the cool thing is, when you eat enough protein, when you're hitting those protein goals and supplementing with protein actually has a higher thermic effect. So you burn more calories consuming protein than other foods. So again, it's a win-win.
Rapid fire on things to look for when you're buying a protein powder. Let's just go through a few of them. We prefer a plant-based protein, but only one that's a complete protein, which means you have all the amino acids you need in it. Simple way to look for this is like a brown rice and pea blend is like the go-to plant-based.
Yep.
If you're going to get a whey protein, that's okay too, but whey protein, although it is a complete protein, can often upset stomachs, so that's why we lean towards plants.
Yes, and if you're going to go for a whey, then you want a whey isolate because that's going to be slightly easier for most people to digest. But again, plant, if you do the right combo, it's going to be the easiest on your belly.
And look for at least 20 grams of protein per serving. So you want to make sure you're getting a good amount of protein when you're going to use it, some or less. And then also one of the biggest, I think, hacks in the supplement space is when you buy a protein, you're looking at pricing because they can get very expensive. Yeah. Make sure you look at how many servings are in the bottle.
It's a great call out.
Right? Because sometimes they're going to give you 10 servings, 12 servings.
This is crazy.
And they'll be charging a price that looks less than everyone else, but you don't realize that you're getting so much less protein. So look for the servings. You can get whatever size you want. You know, we sell a 28 serving and a 14 serving, but just make sure you know what the price per serving is because I've seen proteins out there, $80, $100 a tub for a month. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Wild.
No.
For me personally, I've always focused on protein, especially like through my health and wellness journey over the last like decade, right? But this last year is the first time I've actually tracked my protein, like measuring my macros to make sure I really am getting it. I kind of eyeballed it for the last many years, and I was probably getting around 100 or so, which was good. But recently I've actually paid attention to hit that goal, and my body is transformed. Like I mean, looking at me, you may or may not notice it, but I've lost 10 pounds. And I've gained 5 pounds of muscle, and my workouts haven't really changed. Like nothing else has really changed, but that focus on protein. And I'm well into my 30s. I'll just share that. But like that's been a huge change and huge shift without doing much else.
Yeah, and for me at now 40, I lost 40 pounds of fat in the past year and a half, and I've gained 10 to 15 pounds of pure muscle. And protein's been one of the biggest things. And like what I like about protein powder too is that if you're using protein powder and you don't want to track the rest of your food, you at least can know, say you use 2 scoops of protein powder, boom, that's 40 to 50 grams of protein you are 100% certain you're getting. And then if you have good rest of whole food proteins in your diet, you can be reasonably sure you're getting close. But if you're not using it, then you're relying on your ability to get there with whole foods. And honestly, as somebody who eats a lot of food, I don't even know that I could do that without feeling really, really full.
I think one thing too, you mentioned like adding it to your yogurt earlier. I think a lot of people get a protein powder and are like, I don't know what to do with this thing. So it depends on the protein. Some are great in water. Like I put mine in water all the time, or milk, put it in smoothies, mix it, add it to oat bowls. Like if you're doing like oatmeal, just add it in there, add it in yogurt. You can bake with it. There are so many ways to use it. And I think that's the easiest thing. Like you said, it's so easy to do 1, 2, 3 scoops throughout the day and know you at least have that baseline plus your food, you're probably golden.
Oh, and my tip, if you add it to Greek yogurt, which is really thick and the best high protein yogurt to use, but if you add a little bit of water, then mix it. That's the hack to make it like creamy and go down super easy. Otherwise, it's going to be very thick and you might not like it. The number 2 supplement you definitely should be taking is the most researched and studied supplement that I feel like people are just finding out about right now for some reason. But like, honestly, we started taking it 2 years ago, maybe?
The time flies. I'm constantly like a year or two. I don't know. Within the last year or two.
Within the last year or two. And it's made an incredible difference for both of us. So we're talking about creatine monohydrate.
I think the reason why it's getting so much attention now is because there's finally research for women specifically.
That's fair, yeah.
As we age, like after 30. But this is something people in their 20s, if you're starting it earlier, like, I mean, ideal, earlier the better. But I think a lot of it was always associated with like bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And no one else talked about it, which is wild when it literally is the most highly researched supplement there is.
So let's just establish what creatine does for you. It does a lot of things, and specifically for women, why don't you go first and kind of give the download for women?
So there's so much new research coming out for women specifically, but I think when it comes to getting lean, especially in our 30s and beyond, it has so much data that backs up its ability to help you with your exercise performance. So if you ever show up to your workouts and you're like, feeling just kind of like sluggish, or this isn't feeling the way it should feel, that's probably a huge benefit you're going to get from taking creatine. It also helps with your ability to develop muscle mass and strength, which again is something we're losing rapidly during these years. So if you have a supplement like this in conjunction with, talking about protein and stuff, you're going to be in a really good position to actually be able to build that lean muscle.
Yeah, and similarly, it's going to help your muscles recover better after your workout. So, if you're somebody that gets constantly sore or feeling like you're not able to work out again after a few days post a certain workout, creatine is a great supplement to help kind of smooth that process out, allow your muscles to recover, and that recovery is ultimately what builds them.
So supplementing with creatine monohydrate, the ideal is 5 grams a day. And you want to do this when you're exercising, of course, but even on days that are rest days for you, it's super important because your muscles are not actually built in the gym. Like that's where we start the process, but it's during that recovery time and those rest days and while you sleep that you actually are getting that lean mass. So it's important to keep it consistent even when you're not working out.
You can expect to have a little bit of potentially bloating or what's called a loading phase with creatine, where you might have some more water retention as a result, but that's totally normal and it does go away pretty quick.
Yeah, it usually is only a handful of days, maybe a week that you notice that. So yeah, be aware of that. Take a little bloat on, like that can help like kind of offset it. But it is like absolutely incredible for anyone who's trying to lose weight, trying to maintain and build that lean muscle mass. And then there's also all these benefits just for cognition and brain function and our ability to like not have crazy brain fog for all of us ladies. It's a real thing. Yeah. So don't feel crazy if you feel that way, but it has that benefit as well.
So if you're looking for a creatine, a few things to look out for. You want to get a really pure form of creatine. So one that we've really enjoyed is any brand that uses Creapure.
Yes.
It's a trademarked ingredient, if you will, a type of creatine that a lot of brands can use. Thorne makes a really great one using Creapure, but other brands use as well. You should see it on the label. Although Thorne's isn't on the label, I'm not sure why.
That's interesting.
I don't think they have to, but you want to get a really premium creatine, so that's a good one to look out for.
And it needs to be creatine monohydrate.
Yes.
Keep that.
And then form, I think, is important too. Powder is just going to be a better delivery here.
I was just going to say that.
Like creatine gummies.
Did you see this recent study? They just pulled and did like a third-party study that pulled all these like main brands that sell creatine gummies that, whatever. None of them had like significant amounts of creatine. Some didn't even have any.
Right.
In the gummy, because gummies are such a hard way to actually get most things.
And you're going to get a lot of add-ons with gummies to make them taste palatable. And so it's just best to avoid that. Go with the powder.
Yes.
And by the way, it's going to be generally flavorless and odorless.
Yeah.
So the way that you and I use it is during our workouts. You can take it a little bit before going into it, but you kind of want to take it around that workout time. So we just put it in our workout drink with a few other things. And something like our Pep Rally Energy Boost that has flavor. Yeah. But ultimately, it doesn't taste like anything. You just drink it in water.
It doesn't, I put Wing Woman in there and mix it up, and it's delicious, and it just tastes like Wing Woman. But yeah, I drink it like throughout my workout and kind of at the end, because again, that just like is leading into that recovery zone. Let's talk about my favorite supplement. And I love that it's in the supplement category, as it should be. Caffeine.
It is really actually very important.
I'm
for
actually
a few
shocked.
reasons.
Yeah, I think you would normally be
coffee.
anti. You think caffeine, you think coffee, that's it.
Yeah.
But that's not it. But caffeine is actually really beneficial if you're trying to lose weight and get lean.
It is. for a number of reasons. And it's like, I feel like this one's very relevant for me today, actually, because I never have drank coffee.
Yeah.
So I've basically gone, and I don't drink energy drinks or anything like that. So I've basically gone most of my life without any caffeine in my diet.
Yeah.
But now that I use our energy boost, which is, clean 100 milligrams of caffeine, I feel such a big difference during my workouts and then the rest of my day using caffeine.
His body is a temple.
Yeah.
As a side note, you're such a disciplined person when I think back on your whole life, because you never had caffeine, you didn't really ever drink alcohol, like all these things. You're just like, good for you. Good for you. Okay, so I never really thought about caffeine for my workouts and impacting my actual like ability to lose fat or anything else. And I think when you think about caffeine in relation to getting lean, most people think of pre-workouts. And those can be very dangerous for a lot of reasons. One, a lot of this isn't regulated at all, but the amount of caffeine in some of these is so unnecessary and causes like the crazy jitters and like heart palpitations, and it's wild.
Yeah, when we're talking about caffeine here, we're certainly not saying use pre-workouts, because I think we both agree there's nothing good's going to come from those. Like, it's just, don't even bother trying to find one that is. And then also don't go into really heavily caffeinated energy drinks. Like, you have to be careful. Some energy drinks have like 400 milligrams of caffeine. That is bonkers.
That's nuts.
Like, that's enough to short circuit.
I think I would pass out. Like, I think I would have a heart attack.
And I get it. Some people like energy drinks. Fine. But reel it in.
Yeah. So like 100 milligrams is a very effective dose,
1 to
if you
200,
will.
I think is reasonable.
For sure.
Yeah.
Very reasonable, very effective. And there have been studies that have even shown that caffeine during a workout can boost your fat burn up to like 13%. And that's just because of the thermic effect. That's your body's like burning.
It's kind of the only like the natural fat burner that you would even want to venture into. And I hesitate to say fat burner, but it kind of is.
But because that's the thing. So fat burners, we all know, are BS, right? But the only thing that's actually shown effective in these fat burners that have 25 different ingredients in them is the caffeine.
Yeah.
So it's just caffeine.
And don't take caffeine expecting it to like burn off your fat, because that's,
you got to work out.
It'll be like a nominal impact on you, but like take it. It's what you said. It's for during workout performance. And that's where I think people, maybe don't think about it sometimes, but if you can get another rep or two during your workout, if you can add a little more weight because you have some more energy, that right there is how you get lean.
Totally.
That is what's going to build the right muscle in your body. That's what's going to help you burn the most calories because you have the most energy.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be the biggest payoff from using caffeine.
Well, and I think this is very true for men too, and in different ways. But I know, like, from me listening to all the women and hearing from so many in the comments and emails I get in DMs where it's like, I'm tired. I'm working full time. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Like, showing up to my workouts is hard, and I do it, but it's like, I barely do it, right? And doing anything is better than nothing. But that's where, caffeine can really play a role to enhance your ability to actually perform during that time as you'd like to.
So pretty simple when you're looking for a good caffeine source. I think you want as natural and clean as possible. You want to avoid too much caffeine. So keep 200 as a good lid on it. Right? 200 milligrams is plenty.
Yeah.
And then you want to make sure there's not a lot of added things in whatever you're using for that caffeine, because you often see a lot of, artificial ingredients, a lot of flavoring, a lot of sugars added to things that have caffeine.
Agreed. I think one of the biggest things too for me is like a black coffee is great. Green tea is like probably the best source of caffeine because it's so natural. It's a little bit like more chill, if you will. But it also has all the antioxidant benefits, which we can use just in general. All right, number 4. This is one I actually never really paid attention to at all until I was pregnant. And I noticed how much it impacted me during that time. And it kind of was a habit I created during then that I kept around. And now I feel like I can't live without it. And I really notice if I don't add this to my daily routine.
And it's super buzzy right now. I only have ever used this supplement previously as like a hangover cure.
Oh, yeah.
But now use it in a different form. So it's electrolytes. But there's some like really important things to know on electrolytes to make sure you're getting the max benefit from them. And actually getting electrolytes is super simple.
So easy.
You don't even need...
And cheap.
It's cheap. You don't even need the products that are out there. We'll talk about that. Okay, so benefits of electrolytes.
Well, first, so like the main three you want to be like consuming are potassium, sodium, and magnesium. Those are like the three that are going to help your body. And here's the benefit, really help your body actually absorb water into the tissue to hydrate your body, help flush out excess water to give your body energy, to let your body function the way it's supposed to. I mean, it's essential. And most of us are walking around drinking water, but still dehydrated.
And it's because it's running through you.
Yeah.
It's running through you. Our favorite form of electrolytes is actually just salt.
Just sea salt. Straight up sea salt.
Yeah.
I actually am drinking it right now.
Same. Same.
I just have a pinch. So I usually do about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon in 32 ounces or more of water. You don't want it to taste like the ocean. This doesn't taste like anything but delicious water. That's really the key. But it's so simple. And I know like there's been brands I've used, a ton of brands that, there's good ones, there's bad ones.
But you don't need
them.
electrolyte packets.
No.
Like, just to be honest, you don't. And save yourself the money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need them. I think the only thing that I've liked, when you really want to get the hydration, you really want to get the benefits, the droppers you use?
Yeah, so I'll still use sea salt, but then fulvic acid, which has like the magnesium. It doesn't have the sodium, so that's why I like the sea salt still, but it also has some more of the sodium and magnesium and potassium. And those little drops, like I can link them or something, but those I do like to add to my water too if you really need like a little extra.
Yeah, I've enjoyed those, and those are flavorless, so it's easy to drink in water, but really just sea salt. So every time you fill up your cup, add a pinch, decent amount of sea salt to it, and it will make the world of difference. And if you're trying to get lean, if you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to build muscle, you would think like, oh, I don't want to, am I going to have water weight? No.
It's the opposite. That's the biggest thing. Like, if you are feeling puffy and you feel like you have that like layer of bloatiness from water retention, which most people do, you need to drink more water. That's going to help flush that excess water weight out of your body so your body's utilizing it. So yeah, like sea salt's great. Fulvic acid drops. You could do a little dehydrated coconut powder if you want a little more flavor. Then you're adding some sugar. But for a workout or something, that's a good option.
And that's the reason we say you don't need the products that are out there for this one, because a lot of them do have additional additives in there. You're going to get sugar. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a flavoring that you don't need.
And they taste weird.
They taste
some of them
bad.
taste fine. Like there's ones that taste better than others for sure. But there's always this interesting taste that I can't quite pinpoint.
It's gross. I mean, we tried putting together an electrolyte product for our brand, and
I didn't like any.
Literally, we're like, I can't in good faith sell this.
And I'm not going to just sell salt because no.
Some supplement brands do basically do that.
They'd market it and be like, it's magic. All right, number 5. This actually has like 3 very interesting benefits in one supplement.
Lesser known supplement,
very
for sure.
lesser known.
Or lesser used. Yeah, I feel like most people aren't going to know this one.
No. It's an amino acid. This one can actually help reduce sugar cravings. It can help with your nutrient absorption and muscle recovery. So we're talking about l-glutamine. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the most fascinating things I learned about this, especially like going through my gut health journey and everything, was something that people don't think about when it comes to fat loss and being able to like get lean muscle mass. And that's if your body's not actually absorbing all the things you're eating, you assume it is. You just assume it is.
Yeah.
But it's not always. And if it's not, you're going to have a lot harder of a time actually losing fat. Mm-hmm. And so that's something I realized my body was struggling to absorb protein, of all things, really well. And L-glutamine can actually help your gut lining and help you absorb. So supplementing with it is really important to make sure we're actually getting everything we need from the foods we eat.
Yeah. And then, as you mentioned, for lean muscle development and recovery, it's big. So this is one that you and I both use in our during workout drink. Mm-hmm. And the reason you add this one in is a few things. One is performance while you're working out. It plays a role in protein synthesis, and it can help develop your muscles better, but also help them recover better after your workout. So it's a really impactful kind of both ends of the spectrum muscle development supplement. And again, we're talking about like lean muscle here. So if you want to be lean and toned, then this is a supplement that can make a big impact on that.
Absolutely. I think the last thing that really like is just so incredible, especially for women that are in a caloric deficit or men that are trying to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. But like we talked about earlier, a lot of times you get hit with those cravings because you're hungry. Like you're eating less than your body's used to. So it's like, hello, where's all that food? And those cravings can really hit. So L-glutamine can actually also help balance and stabilize your blood sugar levels, which will help reduce sugar cravings. So again, adding to all those benefits when you're like really working out hard, you're trying to eat really healthy. Those things are super important. You have to have both of those. But it's supplements like this that actually help take it to the next level. I think a lot of us hear about like amino acids and stuff, and this is one, like we said, that's like much lesser talked about. I hear like for workouts and stuff, people talk about like BCAAs and stuff. You don't need BCAAs. The majority of people working out do not need that at all. You're going to get that from your foods. But L-glutamine is one that we do need in higher amounts. And so supplementing with it is really important.
Again, flavorless, odorless. So it's a pretty easy one. When you're looking for this one, again, you just want to go with reputable companies. And you want to find it in the powder form. I haven't seen this one much outside of that because it's not as trendy, right? It's not one that you would see like in a gummy form, not that I'm aware of.
You sometimes see it in combination with other like sleep things, or I don't know, I've seen it in like blends of things. But in and of itself, I think it's really important, especially that combo, like we take it with the creatine, because I think those two together are so helpful. All right, so we got through all 5, but I feel like there's still a couple out there. So what is your number one supplement that's maybe not specific to getting lean, but is something you couldn't live without every day?
For me, collagen. I feel like it just has so many benefits. I've seen the benefits for my skin.
It's looking great.
Thank you. And yeah, I mean, you know, you want to have a really high quality collagen. I prefer marine collagen versus a bovine. Yeah, I think that a collagen is great to have in the mix.
That's a good one.
What about you?
Okay, can I give 2? One, obviously my Miss Congeniality, which is a blend of things, but I literally take it every day. I couldn't live without it. I feel like it makes me a sane, happy person and my hormones really happy. But the second is actually kind of related to getting lean, and that is a fiber supplement, because most women, most men do not get enough fiber. I eat a lot of vegetables, but I still probably am low. So I do like just some psyllium husk and celery juice to make sure I'm getting fiber to stay regular and not like puffy and, you know.
Let's each do one supplement that you definitely can go without, that you know, it's popular, it's trendy out there, but you don't need it. You don't really need it. You go first.
I've never tried this, but I know all the research on it, and it's super trendy right now. Any supplement, and this is so related to what we're talking about, any supplement that claims to be a GLP-1 booster.
Oh, God.
Don't buy it, you guys. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Just don't buy it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do what it claims to do.
No.
And come at me with some research that says otherwise, but like it's not.
Well, what they're suggesting in those is that it's basically going to produce more of the GLP-1s your body produces naturally. Yeah. And while that may be true, it's such a small amount. And that's what you have to look out with supplements. Is like companies that'll say, oh yeah, it does this. But like, does it do it enough to have any real impact on your body? No. And the answer in this case is absolutely not.
Right.
It's
giant waste of money.
Completely irrelevant. And people are just trying to market you something.
Yep. Okay, how about you?
Again, this is just me personally, but like I think greens powders are just they're kind of a waste in my opinion, and mainly because the price is so high and the value you get I think is pretty low. That said, if you're somebody who doesn't literally eat any vegetables or fruits, I mean, yeah, I think then obviously it's beneficial for you, but
we've talked about them. We've taken different brands for a long time, and I like them.
I don't dislike them. Right. I just don't, for the money and for the value you get in terms of supplementing and the benefits to your body, for somebody that eats vegetables and fruits, I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
And they're really, really expensive.
Okay, one more colostrum. Sorry, I couldn't go without saying that one. No.
Any supplement that professes to do virtually everything for you, all the benefits of like a million different things that are all non-related, be very suspect of that.
Yes.
Because it's just unlikely that it can do all those things well.
I mean, some of the claims that some of these brands make is wild. We don't have to get it. You're right. It's a different video. But like, wow.
But think about all the 5 that we gave you in this list. And I think that you can see each of those has a very clear purpose, maybe 1 or 2 things, 3 things tops that they do really, really well.
Yeah.
That's because they're simple. Be skeptical of that and just go with the things that are proven to do well for your body.
Absolutely. I could not have said that better myself. I think that at the end of the day, there's always going to be science that backs those things, like true research. And that is what these all are. And you're going to see the results. And I think that really, you're going to see it, you're going to feel it. All right, to quickly recap on our 5 top supplements. If you are trying to get lean, if you are trying to lose weight, maintain or build lean muscle mass to get that nice, strong physique, these are our 5 that we take every day, cannot live without. Number 1, protein powder supplement. You need it. We all need it. Take it. Number 2, creatine monohydrate specifically. Caffeine, but make sure it's only like 200 milligrams max in a nice clean form.
So number 4 is electrolytes. You can keep this one simple. Make it just salt in your water and you'll see a huge difference. And then lastly, L-glutamine, great for muscle development, muscle recovery, reduces sugar cravings, and also nutrient absorption. So tons of benefits there. That's our list of the Get Lean, Stay Lean supplements. This is certainly not an exhaustive list of all supplements that we take or that you should take. There's a lot of other great ones for different benefits and different values to your body. But if you're looking to get lean, these are the ones.
All right, guys. So we hope you love this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, Brian and I will actually both be taking over the comments this week. So happy to answer any questions you have specifically about your needs, your family, your husband, whoever it is. Drop them down below. Make sure you like this video and are subscribed if you want to be entered to win our weekly subscriber giveaway. Love you guys. Have the best week. I'll see you soon. Bye.